Hello, everybody. It is a hopefully soon to be beautiful day out here in Denver, Colorado. Rocking my Bronco jersey. Come on, Manning. Win us a Super Bowl. Always eternally optimistic. So, anyway, I just thought I would make a super quick video today. I just fucking woke up, obviously. And, I got another email from, friends of mine, colleagues, people I'm trying to help, like, get their businesses launched, right? And the biggest problem that I am encountering for a lot of people is the fact that everybody seems to be stuck on figuring out who their target market is, right? And they're so stuck on it that they can't even like launch their business. And it literally makes you want to take every single business person who like says all this bullshit and like drop kick them and like haymaker, right? Because it's good advice, right? But the problem is that these people are like 10 years into their fucking industry, right? And so that they have such a good idea. I hope 10 years in that you know exactly who you want to work with. You know what I mean? Who doesn't after 10 years? So of course their perspective is now that like, oh, to start you need to know. But if you took little like 20-year-old them and talked to them like, oh, who's your target market? They'd be like, I don't fucking know. I just want to make it as a blank, you know? But of course hindsight's 2020, right? So now they're like, oh, target market, you need that shit. You can't even launch until you know that. And smack them in the face because, first of all, the most important thing that you ever need to do is find your first 3 clients. This is Ramit Sethi, who has tested this a million times, and this is his theory, right? And it works. Find 3. Because your first one is probably a friend or an old colleague, right? But by the time you get 3 clients, you know your business idea is solid, and you also know that it worked, and you kind of have a much better idea of who you want to work with, right? So when I first, I'd worked as a journalist and a technical writer, and I wrote a grant for a company called, or a nonprofit called I Live Here, and a journalist and then an editor, so all over the map, right? And then I found copywriting, and I wanted to go into that industry. So, and I thought, like, thank God I didn't designate and spend thousands of dollars designing a website to this whole market, right? So I thought that I would want to work with like female life coaches, people who are helping women get it to get whatever. I took like, thank God I had not designed my entire website around this focus because I realized that we don't get along because I'm all, sorry, gonna bash. I'm super action oriented and I want like actionable steps. I don't want motivation and feel good shit. You know what I mean? I need like step 1, 2, and 3, and that's how I write copy and that's how I roll. I don't do like and unleash your inner sexy, right? Or like whatever it is that they tell all their clients, right? So, and now I write copy and I thank God I am now designated towards the fitness, outdoor, and travel industry because I seem to gel with those people and those kind of business owners, right? But like hindsight's 2020, and like thank God I hadn't spent all this money designing this like sexy website to like market to them. Like I would be declaring bankruptcy. I would have like offed myself, but see, that's my point, right? Is like if you're trying to start a business, it's probably maybe a newer industry for you or like a newer demographic, and you probably don't know yet who you want to work with. So fuck focusing on your target market and like, just take 3 people that you think you would want to work with and work with them. And if it goes well, then you have a much better idea. And then you have a real person to base your marketing off of. And you can figure out what color shoes they wear and their interests and their age and do they have kids and then all of those other things that are important, right? But until you figure out whether that is something you personally want to do, it's going to be hell trying to guess it beforehand, right? One more example, right, is like, so I was a writer and then shit went to hell and I had to, I worked as a trainer, I needed money, had to pay those bills for college, right? And I worked as a personal trainer and it was such a new industry for me. And I didn't, it was like starting a new business, right? I had to find clients, I had to get them to buy package, like all of that, right? So, and the biggest thing was that if I had started and been like, oh, well, who's my target market? How in the fuck would I have known? I was a great athlete in high school, great athlete in high school. And if I had been like, oh, I want to work only with athletes, that that's not who I ended up working with at all. It ended up being like older women with like arthritis and pain. And that was like, those are my favorite people to work with, you know? So, but it took, like, I went through that process and, you know, I had like a mentor at the time and, you know, she just helped me find my first 3 clients. That is the rule. Fuck everybody else, right? But like, imagine if it was like a business, you know, and I had like launched it and been like, oh, athletes, I'm gonna help you get agility and get faster and like, nah, nah, nah. And like, that ended up not being who I like to work with at all. But if you follow these people's stupid advice, then you're gonna spend thousands of dollars and hours and time that you will waste instead of just, and it's scary to find clients, don't get me wrong, it's scary to be like, hi, I'm new, and like, and just, I know everybody says don't tell them you're new, but like, who gives a fuck? They're more willing to be nice to you and be like, you know, support the American spirit of like entrepreneurship because they're just gonna, and especially if you're like, hey, I think I want to do this, let me do it for you for free real quick, just for like a week, and you know, see how it hashes out. And that will be the best education you'll ever have. So that's all I have to say. Pick something, find 3 people, at least one, you know, and see how it goes, and then hash it out from there. Fuck, I'm like a bunch of clients deep, and I just uprooted my entire like marketing thing, and I'm switching it to something else. I'm, you know, like I said, I have new industries I'm going after, and that's, and in 10 years, I'll probably one of those assholes who's like, oh, well, now that I've worked in the travel industry for 10 years, it's like I knew back then that my target market. No, no. If I ever say that, please someone kick me in the neck. End of story. 3 clients. Go do it. Go Broncos.